Who's excited to see this film tonight?
We have some shirts to show the group.
Yeah. This year's design features a quote by the great Guillermo del Toro, and it says, "Fuck work, watch movies." Who hates their job? Who really hates their job? That guy hates his job. Who hates their job? He hates his job! One more.
Okay, one more. All right, shall we bring them out?
Yeah, so we have a very number of special guests to introduce the film. So let me invite to the stage executive producers Tyler Connolly, Chaz Bono, Krsy Fox, Spider-Man, Wendy Berry, and the one and only Cher.
Holy shit.
Okay, I bet you never thought you'd see me here. I don't really like scary movies, but I believe in these guys, so I'm a backer.
Thank you. We'll make this quick because I know we're running a little behind on scheduling, but first of all, just thanks to BeyondFest. To be part of this festival is amazing. A dream come true for all of us. Thank you guys, you've been amazing to accept this movie. Thank you to RLJE, IFC, Shudder, all the amazing people that worked for those companies that believed in me and us in this movie and other movies. And it's most special to be here in Los Angeles, where we live! And we've got tons of cast members and crew members, and my band members are here, and everybody's here. And just to be a dumb kid from Massachusetts to screen a movie in Los Angeles is an amazing experience. To be standing on stage with all my friends and family who helped produce this movie is an amazing feeling. Thank you guys. And to have Cher standing on stage is, I don't know what the fuck to say about this. Just like you, I'm just mind blown, so thank you, forever indebted for you to even look at me, I guess, I don't know. But enjoy the movie. This thing is a vibe. It's dark. You can stop laughing now. Just let it sink into you and take a bite out of you. Okay, this is Krsy. She is, I'm trying to talk really fast. This is Krsy Fox. She's a star of the movie. She is my co-producer, my editor, my baby mama. She is just a force of nature, and you will see how incredibly talented she is. She is in almost every scene because I had to put her in every scene. But she's amazing. Love you. You're the best. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you guys so much. Just if there's any cast members or anyone who worked on the movie, can you stand up real quick just so you can have a quick round of applause because you guys deserve it.
Enjoy the movie.
West Coast premiere of Little Bites. Let's give a warm, humongous, rabid BeyondFest welcome to writer-director Spider-Man and producer-star Krsy Fox.
Thank you, everyone. I gotta pee, so let's...
We'll make it fast. That's fine. We got this. What an ending, right? And also, this is such a emotional roller coaster of a film for me because even the dark moments have this edge of humor to them. And I can't wait to dig into this whole thing. But first, I want to ask about your partnership. It's a partnership in life. It's a partnership in art and work. You've made 3 films in 3 years.
Yeah, we made a lot of movies. We already have the next one done,
Yes.
which is weird. But,
Crazy.
but we won't talk about that. I don't know. You start.
Our partnership? I mean,
Why?
I don't know. No.
Why me?
Honestly, you know, this is something we both have always been really passionate about. I've been an actress since I was a kid, and we wanted to make our own content. And then, you know, we would do some music videos and some things here and there, but I feel like it was just right before COVID happened, and then the lockdown, there was nothing going on, and we kind of felt like that was our moment to start creating content and making our own films. And you know, we started slowly, and we just got addicted. It's like getting a tattoo; you can't stop.
I mean, and it's LA, so I assume there are filmmakers here, writers, directors, actors in the room. Yeah, so we started wanting to make movies, and we kind of did what we thought you were supposed to do, which was take meetings and go to lunches and meet with producers that said they had money and they were gonna make these movies for us, and it just never happened. So both of us come from music, and I was thinking about this, and when you start a band, you start a band. You know, you have some friends and you get in the garage and you plug in and you play. And so that's the only way that we know how to do things. So when it was time to make movies, we treated it like that, where we just like, let's just make a movie. So we have so many talented friends, and we've made so many more through the process of this. So, I mean, that would be advice to anyone, that there is a way to do it. You can figure it out. You just work hard. We both do 50 jobs each, and I'm not going to tell you what we made this for, but you'd be shocked. And we made it in 12 days, so it's just like, it can be done. You just gotta yeah.
I did notice that watching the credits that...
The credits roll in about 4 seconds, yeah.
I know, they're like, should we bring the lights up by the end of the credits? I'm like, they're over. So...
Well, Spider, you, in addition to writer, director, you also did production design, wardrobe, art department.
Yeah.
And Krsy, editor. Editor's so cool. And sound design and music.
Well, we didn't do, actually, music was by a very talented guy somewhere here, Roy Mayorga did the score for this. Roy, the score is so fucking cool. It just sounds so good in here, so thanks, Roy.
No, it was thrilling because normally all of our films I've done that, and there is some of my music in there, but I basically put temp music knowing that we wanted someone who really understood the 70s aesthetic and had all the equipment that was necessary to make it feel like that. And I was like, just beat my temp, and Roy did. So Thank you, Roy, you're amazing.
So how did this idea materialize between the two of you? And take us into the process that you share creatively too. How does any film start with you two, and how did this one begin?
I mean, the idea is, inspired from being parents and being, that is, if anybody's a parent here, it eats you alive in great ways and terrible ways, that you sacrifice and you worry and you struggle, and you do, no matter how hard you try, outside influences come and fuck up your scene, and you dream of this Brady Bunch situation, and anyway, so what better way than to represent all of this stuff with a monster, right? I mean, I grew up loving horror and sci-fi and comic books, and the thing that I really love about this genre is that it always dealt with serious subjects, and sometimes throughout history that you couldn't talk about in movies or TV. And if you watch old Twilight Zones, and they would take these, they would use allegories by using monsters or robots and things like that, and I just always loved that. So that was, that made any sense? Yeah, that was sort of how we came up with this. And then she read it and said, I need to play this part.
Yeah, no, I really out of anything that he's written, and when I read this script, I was like, oh my god, I connect to this so much. Beyond, obviously, the parent aspect, I just think survivors of abuse, and I was like, this is such an important story, and I just wanted to do it. This is the most flawed and interesting character I've ever read for a woman, and I was so excited to do it, so thank you, Spider.
Well, you kind of gave us a hint as to how intimate the crew was, right? Like how small a crew you were working with, the number of days you were working with. Every film is a miracle, right? Every film made is a miracle, even more so for independent film. What would you say was the journey of getting this made?
I mean, it's honestly just hard work, and like I said, we take on 10, 20 jobs each, because we can't always afford to pay a wardrobe designer, so I just figure out what they're going to wear or whatever. But what really is, when you mentioned our crew, I mean, there are days where we maybe have 7 people, maybe not including the actors, and a lot of them are here, and they're amazing people. I always say, I've said this before, I'll say it again, it doesn't take an army to make a movie, you just have to choose the right fucking soldiers, and we got the right soldiers. I don't know who's here. I wish Andy was here.
I know. Well, it's true. Our crew is our family. They've done every movie we've ever done, and it's just become this thing. Like, all of them get paid way more doing other things, but they always come back for us because they just love horror and they love what we're doing, and they're part of our little team, and we love them so much.
But I think that, that is that you find people, hopefully, that are willing to, also we are fiercely independent, so we do, our actors are always under the SAG union, but we don't really use any other union, so if I have to move this table, I can move it and not have to check with props department and whatever you do when you deal with unions. So, we have, Danny's here. Is Danny Valentine here?
Where are you, Danny?
Danny climbs trees for us.
He literally was in the tree during the Barbara scene, like holding, like Hollywooding something. And
there's a scene where it's a park, right, where Krsy talks to Heather Langenkamp, and unfortunately there was a tree and there was this giant wooden swing hanging in the shop, which we didn't want, and Danny's like, I got it, and he scales the tree like, I don't know how you did it, and he just so you have to just find people like that, and then it happens,
There's this fantastic monster that you create in Aguirre, and I wondered if you could take us into first the character design of Aguirre, and then how the creature design came out of that.
Yeah, the character was always, I always wanted the monster to be a monster, but also, not fall in the archetype of a Jason or Michael Myers, which is the silent killer, and I didn't want to lean into, like, the wisecracking Chucky thing, so I wanted the monster to be, his psychological torture be equal to the physical torture. So he's just in her head, and he preys on every insecurity that she has as a parent, and I think there's something like really like that song he sings to her about her dead husband is just so terrible. And so that led to how do we design this? So it had to be monstrous, but it couldn't be so monstrous that it didn't. This is a true acting job, so we had to have the prosthetics just right where he could. John Sklarov, who unfortunately isn't here, but he actually is a real monster. We didn't use any makeup at all.
It's hard.
It's funny how he's never here.
It's weird.
In the basement.
Well, also we should give a shout out. Ashley Stansbury's here, who's one of the makeup artists who created him, and they just kill themselves every day.
We had a very, very small makeup crew too. How many people do we have?
Well, it was Ashley and Ken did the monster, and then we had Allie come on for a few days, and we had the excessive bites.
Yeah.
And then we had a beauty makeup artist, Paige, who never had to make me look beautiful, but that was it.
Yeah. But I don't know. It was in then coming up with the voice. We had tried a whole bunch of different things, and we finally landed on, because we wanted him to seem very arrogant, that he felt like he was so much better than Mindy, so we came up with this, what I call a theatre voice. Not quite a British accent, it's just kind of a pompous theatre voice. And John, sorry, I know I talk too much, but John is a very method actor, so he stayed in character the entire time. And no one realized that when we rapped, he was actually from New York, and he talked like this.
He also wore his teeth during lunch, so he'd only drink smoothies out of a straw. So.
And he rapped and he was
crazy.
still in the basement. He gives such a fantastic performance opposite Krssy's fantastic performance. By the way, are you in every single scene in this movie?
Except for the scene with Elizabeth and John at the door. That's, yeah, I didn't realize that till I
And
started
how about
cutting.
Elizabeth, our
Yes.
Before you talk about your part, I just want to, one thing about Elizabeth is she's so pro that she never needed more than one take, but I would make her do two just so the adults didn't feel bad.
100%.
So.
She was 11 years old when we shot this movie, so it's very amazing.
Krsy, can you take us into playing Mindy? What was it like to carry her with you day in and day out, and was it hard to shake her at the end of the day?
Yeah, no, I mean, I've said this in some interviews now, like, out of any character I've ever played, I got in this, like, dark hole with Mindy because I kind of never got to be happy. And it was just such a heavy subject all the time. I mean, I remember there was this scene I was shooting where Ashley came up to me after, she's like, oh, those tears looked good. I was like, I was crying. I didn't know, like, you know what I mean? It was just, I would lost myself in this character. So when we wrapped, it took me almost a month to not be depressed, which was really sad, but yeah, you should be. No, but also very rewarding as an actress because I was like, oh, I really kind of slipped into this. And honestly, playing opposite something like John, like in the dark, and honestly, we could never see the camera. It was just the two of us. He's violating me in every way possible and being horribly mean to me. So it was a crazy experience, but also just very easy to sort of just fall into this person. And then by the time it got into like Barbara coming or Bonnie, I was already just miserable and felt attacked constantly. That it was a very natural progression for this character, and it was really rewarding. But yeah, it took me a while.
Well, Spider, you mentioned the song scene where Aguiar sings this taunting song to Mindy, and the energy between the two of you in that scene is just so, like, visceral.
Thank you. That was, I think, out of all the scenes, other than maybe when he was biting my thigh, the one that... Have you ever in your life just been in a situation where you're like, I gotta get the fuck out of here right now? That's how I felt the whole time. We did one take of my coverage, and I had so much snot running down my face, he didn't make me do it again. That was it. Because I was just like, the second he said cut, I was out of there. I was just like, I don't want to be here, I don't want him to touch me, I don't want him to look at me. And that's sort of how I felt the whole time I worked with John. He's a very nice human, but unfortunately, when he had that makeup on and he was method, I just did not want to be near him.
I was curious about the origin of the name Aguiar, and if that was a reference to an inspiration or anything that you took.
I was looking for, I believe, if someone will correct me, but I think Aguiar in Hungarian is fang or tusk or something, so I was just trying to be cute, clever.
It's cute.
And Krsy, because you have such the unusual experience of also being your own editor, I was hoping you could give us some insight. What is that like to, A, know you are editing a scene you're about to shoot, know Spider's approach, there's so many long takes in this film where a scene really breathes, and
They call that a slow burn.
but for you, you know these things, you know how it's going to be edited, or you have a feeling. How does that inform how you play a scene?
Well, yeah, I mean, so this is sort of two different things. Well, one, approaching the scenes, I knew, and all of the actors knew, you know, we had had a lot of conversations ahead that we were going to really take our time and really pace every single conversation and really think about everything you say before you say it. And I really loved that as an actor because you really got a chance to, like, just emote and really just feel all the feelings. So that was really cool, and I really kept that in the back of my head when I started editing. You get very sick of yourself, let me tell you, I'm very sick of myself. But the one thing about this film is I'm a very bubbly person. I'm the complete opposite of Mindy, so I kind of forgot it was me a lot of the time, and that was helpful. I looked so bad. So that was nice. But yeah, so I just, you know, being on set every single day, and also just we do so much pre-production. I knew exactly what he wanted, and it was sort of nice because he went on tour right after we shot this movie, so I got to get my first cut while he was gone. So he didn't get to like nitpick, and then I could send him and he'd give me notes, and it was a really, probably the easiest edit I've ever done, because we didn't overshoot any of this footage, and honestly we didn't have time to, so.
Well, it's a good thing you had such a fantastic cast around you. Can we talk about the actors that you brought on to join this project?
Yeah, I mean, what good fortune we have to not only know these people, but consider them our good friends. And we all had dinner today before this. And to be able to put together this sort of female trifecta horror legend thing that's pretty spectacular with Barbara Crampton.
Wasn't she so good?
Bonnie Aaron's mother. And who else? Heather Langenkamp.
Oh, you guys have heard of her, probably, right?
Yeah, I mean, it was so fun also to put them in parts that maybe were unexpected for them to play.
And each of those dynamics that Mindy has with them is so different, right?
Yeah, that was sort of the special thing because, well, Barbara is one of my best friends ever, and so I couldn't imagine hating her. And that was always like the intimidating thing when it finally got to the time where she was going to come to set. We shot all of her stuff in one day. It was the hardest day on set because we had the most pages. And she's so good, and her experience, it just made it so easy to hate her and then love her immediately when it was over. So thank you, Barbara. And also, like, did you see her little stunt? She like dove into that room. I thought it was so funny, and Spider was terrified.
Yeah, no stunt person for Barbara Crampton.
No, she does her own
It's like, Barbara, are you sure? We're gonna push her in. So when Krsy pushes her in that room, we just had this like janky little mattress on the floor for her to land.
She dove and pointed her toes, like she was gone. It was amazing. Yeah, and then obviously Heather is someone that I've grown up, you know, A Nightmare on Elm Street was one of my favorite films ever. We watch it probably once a month. We love that movie, and so getting to work with her was incredible, and she just brought this warmth and this heart to the character that was so important. And, you know, I was just lost in her eyes the whole time. So that was really amazing. We've become really good friends. And then Bonnie and I have been friends for a very long time. And Bonnie and I have always had this secret dream to play mother and daughter. So we got to make this happen. And there's no greater force of a personality than Bonnie Aaron's. So I'm very grateful that she got to play my mother in this.
And what a mother-daughter relationship.
Right.
You really understand how Mindy approaches parenthood from seeing her interact with her own mom.
Yeah.
There's a cast member I would love to hear more about because their performance is so good, and that's Chaz Bono.
What?
Paul just wants to, just waiting at the bus stop, wants to go home.
Yeah, I feel like out of everyone in the movie, maybe even more than Elizabeth, nobody wanted Paul to die. Like, he's just the most heartwarming. But no, it was so fun getting to work with Chaz. Chaz and I are best friends, and we've gotten to act before together, but this was really fun because I got to try to seduce him, and it was so uncomfortable that it was so fun. I would just make him sweat, and it was like we were both so awkward, and it was just...
That ice cream was disgusting.
He's never eaten strawberry ice cream ever since. He hates it so much. But no, he was so good, and he was really mad at me, but like putting that toupee on him was, I died. Could not.
And dragging Chaz down the stairs, we tried to rig up anything we could, and nothing would work. So I'm like, well, Chaz, we're just doing it. And that sweater on those carpets.
It's like Velcro, you guys. Like seriously, he and I both couldn't walk the next day.
I was gonna ask who the unsung hero of the film, but maybe I think that makes Chaz taking the stairs.
100%.
Yeah.
But also, what a tremendous performance. We're almost out of time because we have another show in here because it's BeyondFest.
Yeah.
But there's so many hilarious lines in this movie. A lot of them are accurate. I'm just like watching this movie going, that line must have been so fun to write. That line. I wrote a couple of my favorites down. One is, the room will be licked clean. And then another one is, poor mommy Mindy will be left to rot in her rocking chair.
Oh, wheelchair. I'm so happy, though, that the line, Mom, I think we just need to kill him.
Yeah.
Got it in a block.
That works.
And then I have to ask about one of your executive producers becoming involved.
Who's that?
A very special Oscar, Grammy,
Yeah, I know.
Emmy winner, Cher.
Yeah, insane, right?
It's crazy. Yeah.
I mean, you know, Chaz had some connections.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that whole experience was really crazy because I think back on it was really the first time I met her in person was for Chaz's birthday, and she had a little intimate dinner party, and I think Nikki and Chara and Chaz were there, and a couple of them, and that's it. And she sat down beside me and started asking me all these questions about our horror movies, and I'm like, there's no way she cares about this. Like, what? And she's like, it really scares me. I don't know, but she just kept talking about it, and I think Chaz started thinking about it. So Chaz reached out and was like, hey, when we did our last film, our film before Little Bites Bury the Bride, he's like, I think I want to produce this with you guys. And we're like, absolutely, we already wanted him in the movie, so it worked out great. And it went really well. We went to Cher's house after we finished Bury the Bride, and we showed her the rough cut in her bedroom, which was crazy. My daughter was like doing somersaults on her bed. It was crazy. So then shortly after, we get the script for Little Bites, and we start pre-production, and Chaz comes back on board as a producer, and I remember it was Mother's Day. She's like, yeah, I want to do this with you guys. And we're like, holy shit, this is crazy. And she's like, she was even today, she's like, you think I'm going to be able to sit through this? I'm so scared. I'm like, you've already seen it. You're okay. But I think we're making a horror fan out of her because she's starting to watch these horror movies now. And she's like, so I saw Get Out. I really liked it. So, no, I mean, she's the best. And she actually came on board as an executive producer of our next film that we've already wrapped, which is called Big Baby. So that was really exciting.
I was going to ask if you believe in life after Aguiar, but I guess so.
Always.
Okay, we are just about out of time, but I want to offer you one last thought to impart to the crowd. You're opening in theaters tomorrow.
Yes.
And eventually on Shudder.
It'll be, so tomorrow officially goes in select theaters across the country.
Yeah.
We are playing in LA, got a couple plays, Alamo Draft House, and please come on Sunday the 6th because I have to do another Q&A, and if there's nobody there, it's going to be really embarrassing.
That's true. We're counting on you guys.
I'll buy you popcorn. But no, it's really a dream come true to have a movie play in a movie theater. I mean, it really is crazy. And so we're on theaters tomorrow, VOD tomorrow, eventually on Shudder, I think in January, and then, off into the universe. I really hope you guys liked it. I really do.
Yeah. Please spread the word. Love for
Support indie horror, spread the word. These movies are so important to all of us that love this stuff, and it's such an enormous amount of work for everyone involved that,
And you're actually helping Cher become a horror fan by doing this. So
that's the most important thing.
Nice. Cher, please come back to BeyondFest.
Right. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Krsy Fox. Thank you, Spider-One.